All right, so let's go ahead and get started tonight. First off, is there any questions about last week at all? Any questions about anybody have any trouble with their crazy talk or getting it up? Anything that we can trouble through?
I think I don't know if I posted my question, but I have it in my mind. So.
See, I can't see that yet.
Yeah,
I don't have that app.
You can't see my brain. Okay. One of the things I didn't like on my video is that, I used the Bitmoji and then it kind of distorted, the image wasn't very clear and I didn't like that.
So once you
that's what I was wondering.
Once you publish it?
Even when I published it, I just didn't like the image and I was wondering if buying the software would make that
because it gives you more options when it renders and it gives you the higher quality, higher HD resolution when you render it. Yeah, so the free one, it does have the watermarks in the background, plus it gives you low resolution when you push it out.
Because I love the idea of the Bitmoji with crazy talk. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Kids, did anybody try it in their class or? Yeah.
I haven't done my video yet because we're not yet.
Anybody show any fellow teachers? Yeah, I know you did. I got your message.
Yeah, I sent them.
Yeah. Mine had low resolution too, and I kept switching it to each different one.
This was really good. Did you buy the program?
No. I had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trouble getting it to upload full screen, and then it cut me off at 2,000 frames, and it said 15 minutes. You could have 15 minutes, got it to a minute and a half, and just cut
Oh yeah. So at the bottom of the on the any version, the free version and the other one, at the bottom of the script page, there's a timer, and it always defaults to 1 minute or a minute and a half or 2 minutes. I can't remember which. You click on it and you can extend the time.
So I could have extended.
Yeah.
And it recorded my whole lesson, so I thought that it was going to be fine, and then you get to upload it, and it's like a minute and a half, and I deleted that one, started again, and again, and so it's just a button that I needed to push.
Yeah, down on the script part, there should be an extension for the audio time.
And then my other question, I'm having a lot of issues with getting YouTube to upload. Is that an internet issue?
Oh my goodness.
Are you doing it on campus? You doing it at home?
I'm doing it at home, and it's fine when I listen to it, but then when I publish it to YouTube, then it's really glitchy, and the sound is off, it just doesn't sound good, and it has a little, in it. Is that internet?
Yeah, I would say so.
Because I went to my parents' house and tried their internet, which is faster than mine, and it still did it.
When did you do this? Because last night I was working on my video blog, and I would go through it, would record, then I would hit the continue, so it would process it, then it would say connection lost, retry.
Yeah, and then when
I did it several times over and over, and I thought it was my internet.
No, I've had 2 weeks in a row now, and then this last week when I was recording my blog, it would record, and then I'd push the next button or whatever the button was, and it would delete it. And I'm like, no, I liked that one. Don't delete it. Where did it go? And so this week I had to record over and over again before it finally finish that process. And by that time I was frustrated because the last video was not
I mean, the practice didn't make it better.
No, I ended up using the webcam on my computer and then uploading it and going like this, please upload, and it uploaded it.
So you think it probably is internet?
Yeah, it's got to be because I've been using the record feature and I have never encountered that problem.
Okay.
Yeah, not even a glitch, but I'll look into it and I'll contact the people at Google who run that upload portion, and I'll see if they've had any issues like that as well. Because I know here on campus I have problems doing my live sessions. It does it for a little bit and then cuts me off. So I'm trying to use something else tonight to run those live sessions, and hopefully it'll work. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Moodle. And our projects. All right. So
I know that
the end of the class paper, I really want you to base it off of your readings. So as you're doing your readings, I really want you to highlight quotes that really resonate with you, situations they bring up that you can familiarize yourself with or see yourself in. And I really want you to bring what you've read and your connection to the readings into your actual classroom. How does this affect your classroom? How do you see this going? That type of thing. I really want you to have
more like an application of how it
Exactly. And I also want you to start figuring some of these quotes that you're pulling out, how you can use them in your final thesis paper as well. I really want to see the application portion of how the readings really affected you with the things that you've learned and how you can bring those two things together to create a great multimedia experience for your classroom. That's what I'm looking for. Does that clear anything up a little bit on any questions you may have on what I'm looking for or kind of the road I want you to kind of travel down? Was anybody thinking anything different?
I was thinking I don't like one of those books a lot.
Which one? Mayor or the other? Mayor? Mayor's he's very technical.
Yes.
He's-
It's interesting when you try to figure out, I'm finding like, even when I look at things now, I'm like, oh, that's kind of like cognitive load. Oh, I'm kind of thinking of what he's saying. I'm having a hard time following him. So I try to read him a couple of times over. No, I don't have to read it over.
He just repeats himself
And
so
he
many
does
times.
repeat
It's
himself.
very repetitive because I'm like, okay, I get it. I get the whole media cognitive thing. Okay, let's move on.
His
Well-
delta keeps changing.
It's because that's Mayor's
Yeah.
thing is the cognitive
Cognitive.
load.
Yeah.
So that's his baby.
He's
So
gonna tell
he
you.
wants to bring it up as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't have to convince me anymore. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Like when he says, we're going to talk about this. In this chapter, we'll talk about this. Now we're going to talk about this. And we talked about.
Yeah. Now we're talking about. Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah.
But that makes it clear, and I really find it interesting, that it says, be careful how you use the capacity of the learner, because, you might be wasting, that capacity, but you think you're doing a great lesson, and in reality, everything is just going one way or the other, but it's not sticking. I think for me, the principle was like, once the students learn, it's because they can transfer that knowledge. And I'm trying to think about that on my lesson. So when you say, okay, talk about, because it's like, okay, I want my students to learn the alphabet. Okay, how is that going to help me? That they just repeat it. That's just rote learning. How can I make it that they are going to transfer that knowledge? So I am taking that as a really like a good principle to base my lessons.
Very good.
When I showed my project in class as a matter of fact, a couple days ago, I noticed that. I mean, I wouldn't have noticed it before. I thought, hey, this is great. They're all into it. They got their attention. I got engagement. But when I started hearing the conversation that was going on about the video itself, that I could really honestly see what Mara was talking about, having the extraneous stuff that wasn't necessary. And thought, oh, he's right. How do you achieve that balance?
Yes. How do you
Or is it
cut it
just
down
something-
to
yeah, how do
to what you need?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's not until after they saw the video, which was about 4 minutes, so it was really short. They asked, well, can we see it again? And yeah, they're on their tablets and they can see it again and again. It seemed like about after the third time, then they started receiving the information and understanding what the lesson was about, and not necessarily about all the bells and whistles that was going on with it.
So
And a really great thing that we'll be showing you, I believe it's next week, is the incorporation of Zaption in with
Right.
YouTube. And that will allow you to show a longer video, because remember, anything over a minute, we kind of lose them after that fact. But if you have them do an activity, you can still have a video that's longer as long as you break it up into segments and have them do an activity. And that's what Zaption allows you to do. And so we'll be working with that as well. We're also going to be looking at a technique that I use in class, called the educational squirrel, right? Or guerrilla teaching. And that's where you show a video that the kids all relate to. They've all seen it. but then you put an educational spin on it. And so they're actually paying attention to it because they don't think they're learning anything, but then you put an educational spin on it. Like I do South Park all the time in my class. And parents are like, what? You use South Park? I take little clips from South Park, situations the kids are in, and I relate them to like Newton's laws, and I relate them to things like that. And the kids understand it because they kind of see where I'm going with it. And then we actually turn the laws into like the Cartman law. And the Cartman law is, every time Stan gets a present, Cartman gets one too. So the Cartman law is Newton's third law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So the kids remember that. Because, so learning to take clips that is in their popular culture, spinning it on their head after the fact, since they've watched it. And I call that guerrilla teaching because you're hiding the education in the bushes and then you ambush them afterwards. So we'll be looking at how to do that as well with a few options.
Honestly,
Yeah, exactly.
I used to just be excited, like, oh, there's a video on the water cycle, and just throw it up there. But now I'm starting to pay more attention to whether it's really something that they can actually.
And now that you know the super secret way of grabbing YouTube videos off, grabbing them and cutting them down to your specifications can really, really help. Like I was saying with Bill Nye, 23 minutes of Bill Nye, 10 of those minutes are impossible to get through, especially 5 times in a day. If they're not YouTube videos, I do recommend, look at that giveaway of the day site and wait for a video editor to pop up. And use a video editor. Yeah, I use AVS. To me, that's the best one. It gives me the best quality for it. I use AVS 8. I think they're on AVS 10 by now. But I got it free off of that giveaway of the day site. And I just looked every day until I found a good video editor. And like I said, you're gonna find some bad, stuff that's not worth it. But then you'll find something good and be able to use it. But that's what I use all the time is that video editor to pull things off. And when I watch movies now, like The Avengers and Ant-Man and all these different things, I'm watching it for fun, but I'm also how can I take a clip from this and use it in science? Because everybody's seen Ant-Man this summer. Everybody's seen Avengers 2. How can I take something they've seen and watched, make them watch it because they want to, but then put an educational spin on it? And then I have them rewatch it again like, oh, okay, I get it. So that's kind of what I want you to look at. And then for the other project at the end, the application, the actual making of the project, the Fresno Pacific wanted me to kind of put, a guidance of what to do. But basically what I'm looking for, because I tell my students, the less guidance I give them, the better of a project I usually get. The more creative, the more outside the box thinking I get. All I want you to do is create a project. It could be for your class. It could be for professional development. Just create a project, having a singular goal in mind. It could be a lesson. It could be whatever. But using everything that we've taught you, and it doesn't have to be in the fashion that we've taught you, but just grabbing everything in the 8 weeks that we've taught you and putting together just a nice mashable lesson. So a mashup of everything we've learned. So like tonight we're going to show you how to do an annotation, and I'll show you how to do a great beginning that'll use these annotations that make it super simple. Maybe using crazy talk in a portion of your lesson to get another point across. When I was looking at the crazy talk videos, something that I was really wanting, and a few of you did it, but not everybody. I was looking for kind of the obscure presenter for a certain subject. Justin Bieber teaching about chemistry. It doesn't really match that, but the kids, it's kind of like a car wreck. The kids are looking at like, what is going on? Justin Bieber's teaching us about chemistry. Just something that the kids don't expect, so they have to watch and see what's happening. That's how we're getting their attention. We become the distraction, but it's an educational distraction. They're learning from the distraction. So, that's kind of what I was looking for in that crazy talk. So maybe when we do the final project, you can kind of do that, take your principal space and make your principal do some talking. We do that all the time at our school. It's hilarious. Unless your principal doesn't have a sense of humor, then you might want to change that up a little bit. But we do that all the time. I go on. We use a Zangle grading system at our school, and it has the kids' pictures in it. So if you guys have a grading system with your kids' pictures already in it, I choose a couple kids a week, and I pull the picture off, and they introduce the lesson, and the kids are like, You did that? You know, to the kid, and the kid's like, I don't even remember doing that. But it just gets their attention, and they start wondering, who's next week? Am I going to be next week? And then next week I'll show you when we talk about a little bit more about video editing. Maybe I'll show it to you tonight. I don't know if I brought it. How you can take like a brain pop. Anybody use brain pop in here? Right? How you could get brain pop. You can actually take the actual video file, splice out the little note at the beginning, and then you can put it in as a picture, an image, and then voice over the image. So now it's your kid's name. So Tim and Moby, I was learning about the water cycle from Julia in Mr. Marquez's class. And they look at Julia like, you wrote a letter? Now she's like, right? And so somebody that doesn't pay attention, somebody that isn't involved at all, now her name is on the screen, and she's like forced to watch. And then now every week everybody starts watching to see if their name is next. It brings the classroom to them. So small little things that take about a minute, but you can save that file and then every week just change the name. I mean, it makes it super easy, and it really, really makes the class more engaging to the students to see who's next that week.
Okay, so a minute, really.
Yeah. So once you have the
A minute for you, how much for me?
well to learn it, to set it up, it may take about 10 minutes to set it up. But then when you change the names per period, it takes a minute to change the name. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there's two parts to the file. There's the actual project file, and then there's the exported file. The exported file is static; you can't change it, but the project file you can. So once the project file is made, all you have to do is go and make that one little change, do your one quick voiceover, and then hit export again, and boom, now you have that second file. And so once the project file is made, which that's the one that takes the longest, once that one is made, the little changes take a minute. Yeah. And I use AVS for that one. Or if you have a Mac, I use iMovie. iMovie would work perfect.
For the final project, does it have to be something that we're going to use in our classes, or can it be something that is a personal influence?
So when I went through the master's program, every single class that I went through, I made it a goal to see how can I use this in class now. And so every end project that I did was a project for my class for that particular moment. Like the rap video I made in my music and engagement class, I made that specifically for my students. I felt that if I was going to go through this while I was working, I'm going to make it work for me while I'm doing it. So everything I did was a product for my class that I still use to this day. So I do recommend that if you do make a project, that it's a workable project you can use in class, because I like you to learn now and then take it and make it and use it as quickly as possible. But if you don't have a class, or you kind of don't see how that can happen, well, then you can kind of go in a different direction. But I would like something that you could present to fellow teachers or present to your students for that final project.
All right, and on the paper, I'm looking at the syllabus, and those 8 references can come from the readings that we've done, or do you want outside?
Yeah, so it can come from the readings. Also, we have some extra posts that we've got on there that can be from there as well.
Okay.
So yeah, so any readings or posts that we put in Moodle, that's where all those references can come from.
Okay, so they don't have to be outside.
Correct. Correct. Now, if you do find yourself reading something that fits perfectly in there, I don't mind you bringing in that outside source. But yeah, since you're reading the books and everything, most people aren't going to be looking outwards because they're like, oh, we had a lot of reading as it is.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not expecting you to look outwards. But if you do find one that fits, I wouldn't mind you putting it in.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a look at YouTube. Where is my other one? Let me open up my next one. Oh, wait, this might not work because it's blocked, huh?
We can log in and get you around.
Oh, it's on.
It's on?
Oh, I think I see it.
40%. 40.
Yeah, it did. All right, so That's probably a bad omen. I've clicked on Dawkins in a Fresno Pacific class. All right, so the button that we learned earlier on that nobody ever goes to in YouTube is the upload button. And these are great buttons for your students to use. Like I said, YouTube Education should be getting unblocked for Central and Fresno and Clovis, so that anything that is labeled as YouTube Education should be viewable, which means this should be unblocked for the kids. Okay, and so they should be able to use it. And not everybody can just click on this is for education and then it posts, because then people will just post anything. So actual companies have to send an application in and be education certified for Google so that they can actually post in there. So when you do see education for for YouTube, it has been vetted to make sure that everything in there is kosher for the kids. So yes.
So students will have access to the uploading?
Yes. So YouTube itself won't be blocked anymore. Only videos that are not linked to the YouTube Education. So this should be unblocked. So this would be a great idea for your students. So the first thing we were going to look at that I didn't get to show you last time was still images as a slideshow. And what I always like to do is I like to have my students go around with their cell phones or their tablets or whatever digital device they have and go around campus, and I give them keywords, and they have to find an image that they can take that represents that keyword. So like happy, sad, spectacular, just keywords, and they have to go around and just kind of work around what image can I take to do this. And they have those collage apps on their phone, or they have the Instagram type, color changing apps on their phone. They get really good with their images, and once they do that, they can upload it to their Google Drive, or actually, Google Photos now. That's their new thing, Google Photos, which is right here. It's unlimited storage. It is low quality images that are unlimited. It's not the high quality, but for your class, the kids don't have to have high quality images. And if it's in their GAF account, their Google Apps for Education account, in the Photos file, it can be uploaded instantly to YouTube. And it's all seamless now. So if they put that actual app on their phone, the Photos app, and it's linked to their GAF account, when they take a picture, it instantly uploads it to their Photos, which will then instantly upload it to their YouTube Photos. So it all becomes seamless to them once that's happening. And I heard earlier that a lot of teachers are still unsure of how to log into Google. So this stuff can be a little bit daunting to them. But that's where you come in, right? As the experts in the field, once you're done with this course, you can show them, hey, it's easy. Let me show you how a kid can add this to their tablet, and straight from their tablet, it can go to their YouTube, and straight from their YouTube, it can appear in here. So I don't know if I have any photos. Yeah, I don't have any photos in my school account. It's all in my personal one. But I can come in here and click here, select them, and now when I create a slideshow, they're there.
Can you populate your account just for this purpose? Maybe just taking the pictures off the internet and uploading them?
Yeah, you can. If you didn't want them to leave your classroom, you can have them do an internet search for images that fit your keywords as well. Especially if you're in the grade 5 or below, you probably don't want them going around with devices and doing that. So, you can always have it do an internet search for that as well. But once you do, you can come in, you just select the pictures that you want. Click next, and they're there, and it automatically does the Ken Burns style in and out. And then you just add the music to it. And all this is royalty free music. All right here. So you can fit the mood, pictures. how to search the internet or learn how to take meaningful pictures, to think about a picture first and take it later. And it's a good way to remind them, in the past there was this stuff called film, and it only had a certain number of pictures you can take, so you had to choose wisely, right? Now they just go selfie, 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 food, 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 right? They take pictures of anything, and so this helps them start to get that meaningful choice of why am I taking this picture and how does this fit that meaningful word. So it starts to make them think about pictures again.
I'm jumping ahead, but I'm excited about this. Can you annotate these photos?
Yes.
So that way, you create a slideshow that looks like there's music and it has words?
Yes. Okay, so speaking of which, so we're going to go, I'll click upload this one. And I do have to remind people about this, is when you do hit upload, it is defaulted to public, but you can change it to private. But some people, maybe in the past somebody showed them how to default it to private, because I do have some people on the online class, they posted their video and I went to watch it and it was private, so I couldn't see it. So do be mindful that it is defaulted to public, but just double check that it's not on private. Unlisted is not private, but it will never be listed in YouTube. So nobody can search for it. You have to be given the link to view it. So like for Friday video announcements at our school, we do a video upload of it to YouTube, and we do it unlisted, and then we send out the link in email. And so that's creates the privacy issue for the kids, but still allows us to distribute it. And then just in case we do bring it back to private once the week is over.
Going back to the music, are you limited to the music tracks that YouTube puts in there, or can you?
Yes, yeah, you're limited to the tracks that YouTube does put in, so if you do it off of YouTube. If you do it off of another program, you can definitely add in other music, but you do have to be wary because YouTube does scan using their algorithm when you upload, based upon the what is that called? What is that app called? Shazam. Based on Shazam, the same type of algorithm. So when you're uploading it, it checks the audio, and if it clicks on a copyrighted song, it will deny you. And if you have too many of those, you become. Remember in that thing I showed you, and it shows you the red, yellow, the green, yellow, and red, based on standability of you in the class in YouTube. I didn't show you that. So yeah, so if you go to the settings,
okay, so you go to your profile,
and then we go to view additional features.
Okay,
it shows you're standing in the community right here, and you're standing in the copyright community. And so right now I'm green on both, so that means I'm good to go. But if you start uploading videos that they have to ban, it'll start changing from green to yellow, and then if it changes to red, you're banned from uploading things for like up to 6 months.
So when you go after settings, oh, I got lost.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. We'll go back. So you just click on your little picture right here. You click on the settings tab, and then you click on view additional features down at the bottom. And then right here, that's where you can see your standing. And you'll be notified, and then you do have the chance to say, I understand, and they'll just take it off for you. Or if, let's say it's something that your school purchased, like rights to Wizard of Oz music, right? Even though Wizard of Oz is out of copyright for the book, the film is still in copyright for another 15 years. They keep extending it. So all the songs from the movie are still copyrighted, but if your school purchased the copyright rights to play the play, and you record the play and put it up on YouTube, it'll still catch it. So you can dispute it, saying we purchased the rights, and the rights say that if our kids are singing it, we can do it. Then that will bring you back to the good standing. But if you just picked up a song, you're like, I like this song, it won't work. My wife and I did one when we went to Hawaii, and I had the Somewhere Over the Rainbow, not from Wizard of Oz, but from the Hawaiian singer, I forget who. Yeah, it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But it's copyrighted, and so it's banned from being played on mobile devices, but you can play it on the computer. I don't know. I don't know why that's the case, but that's just the copyright for that particular song. It's not on a mobile device, but a computer is okay. So, yeah. So I mean, they'll let you know relatively quickly if you hit a copyright snag. That's why for your students, I recommend definitely only using the music off of YouTube. Yeah. And as you see, the interface is super easy to input the video, the songs, or the those, and then these are just the featured tracks. There's more.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, there's more. You could come into all the different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ones that you saw are just the featured tracks. There is way more that you can choose, and if you don't want any audio, they can always select no audio. Right there. If you wanted them to do like a voiceover, like why did they choose that, then you would save this, and then under video editor, you can go in and add in a voiceover in the video editor. So let me go ahead and then just, let's say, choose this one. Makes it seem important now. That's a pretty good song. And then once again, you just publish it right up to YouTube, and now it is in your stack. And it's processing, and I'm going to click just publish. So as soon as it's done processing, it's going to be up. And I like this fact because when I record something live, I like to put it on my website right away. Even before it's done processing, it'll give you the link of where it's going to be. So you can post it right there. So that's how you can take still images. And this is just because it was a layover from last week. I forget why we didn't get to it. I think we got really into crazy talk. But I wanted to show that still images can work in this fashion. When we start talking about virtual reality or augmented reality in 2 weeks, I'm going to show you how you can do a panoramic or a complete 360 image for virtual field trips for your students. And I will be giving away some Google Cardboards, which is Google's virtual reality goggles. So we'll be playing some Kahoots for those. Yeah.
Okay, what was that? I know that's right. They weren't so excited.
Google Cardboard for virtual field trips. So I'll be giving 2 away in class when we do our augmented reality session. I'm also talking with the company Daiquiri. They should be sending me some things that I can give away as well. Hopefully they do come in and send those in. So I'm trying to get companies to send you guys stuff. So I'm going to see if I can get Nearpod to send you some T-shirts. I tell them, if teachers wear your stuff, people are going to ask about it. Come on. So trying to get you all some swag here. So this is done, and all this is found under your video manager. So let me show you how to get to your video manager if you're not coming right off the video. So if we're back right here on YouTube, you can click on this little pancake area. You go to My Channel. So I'll show you again. If you want to get to your videos, you click on the little pancakes and you go down to My Channel and then Video Manager. And so we're right here. And this right here is your extra options. Now, so this isn't your editing. This is your additions. So this is when your video is already done, already published, and you want to add some additions after the fact. Okay? So you can enhance your video. So if it looked a little bit buggy, do some blurring effects, and it shows you the before and after. So if you don't like it, you can always change it up. Filters. So these are some of the effects you can add after that. And you know what? I kind of want to stop right here, and I just want you to play around with these things first. I don't want to get too far into it, and then we get lost on what we did earlier, and then go on. So let's see, what time is it? It's 5:54. So take about 10, 15 minutes. Grab some images off the internet. Grab some images that are on your computer. Grab whatever, and then start using those and create like a little, 15-second, 30-second video montage. And then go into your enhancements and change the tone up. Show you how to use a feature on here called annotations. And the annotations become hyperlinks to different parts of your video. So let me show you how we do that. So let's say I already recorded a lesson on atoms, and it's over a minute, so I know my kids are going to get lost. So I want to make sure that they can link directly to protons, or link directly to neutrons, or link directly to electrons. So the way I do that is I've already recorded it, and then I create a nice little web capture real quick. Right here. Start recording. Here you go. All right, class, we learned about the atom today. If you would like to know more about the protons, click here. If you'd like to know a little bit more about the neutrons, click here. And if you want to know a little bit more about the electrons, go ahead and click right here. All right, thank you. And then
It's gonna be hard to get. I'm gonna be.
It is. It's opposite. It was a little bit hard. And so that's just my introduction. And you saw the points. That's where I'm going to place the digital, and so they can click as they pop up. So you go ahead and click publish.
You know what? I was doing it that way and I wasn't remembering. So now I'm just going to stop and really focus. Like triangle. I was playing with that tonight and I thought of you. I said I should upload this for my next vlog. Yes, the girl on fire is back. This one's for you, Christine. This week I learned. You guys need to get together.
Are you just trying to get back pages?
I'm just going to check. I wanted to leave that open in case it's still rendering, but I want to check if it actually at least posted into my... Yeah, so it posted into my channel already. Good.
There we go.
So
you publish it. You have it now in your.
So now he's gonna go.
So now that we have it saved into our manager, the way we get there is go My Channel. Right here, we want to click on our Video Manager. And this is the video that we're going to be looking at right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click down. And we're going to go to Annotations. Now, many people think an annotation is just a word overlay. There you go. All right, class, we learned about the atom today. If you would like to know more about the protons, click. So there's the point. So I'm going to click Add Annotation, and I want it to be a, we can do a, no, not speech bubble. Yeah, let's do a speech bubble. Right here. And it's going to say, we said protons, right? That was the first one? So protons click here. Okay, and I want it to last all the way, so 26 seconds. So it starts at 9.2, but I want it to last all 26 seconds.
Okay, I am confused there. Okay.
So this tells you when the bubble appears. See this button right here where it says start? This is where when the bubble appears, and this tells you when the bubble disappears. I don't want it to disappear. I want it to still stay there when I'm pointing to the other one, so they can still decide what to click on.
When you put the end, you put it to the end of the video.
Yes. 26. So there we go. So now it's at the end of the video. I'm going to click on link. And I've already grabbed my pre-made video. Okay, I've already grabbed my pre-made video. And this is it. So the share. Post the link.
Your pre-made videos are 3 separate pre-made videos.
It's the same video at different times.
How does your link know that it's at different times?
So right here it says start the video at.
Gotcha.
Down here. And so I know my protons start at 1:49. So 1 minute and 49 seconds. So I put 1 minute, 49. As soon as I, not 4:49. There we go. There we go. And I don't want it to open up to a new video. So that's there. So that's all done. Click save. It's saved. Now I click on add annotation again, but after I click play.
Here, if you'd like to know a little bit more about the neutrons, click here.
That is cool.
Add another one, move it here.
Neutrons. I remember that one.
Neutrons.
Can you color the bubble? Okay.
Down here.
Yeah, okay.
You can color it
On the phone and all of that.
yellow. That's mustard. That's gross. We'll do greenish, and then we'll make these just black or white. I guess that's what the font. And you can change the size of the font to make it bigger. That's probably what I should have done the first time. And then it starts at 14, but once again, I want it to go all the way to the end. So 26. And here's the link. It's the same link, but this time it's at 3:08. So I'm going to change the time to 3 minutes and 8 seconds. There we go. Click on save. And then finally I add my, oh, not yet. I have to find out where I hit it.
Here, and if you want to know a little bit more about the electrons, go ahead.
So right there. You probably want to do it a little bit more professional when you're doing it for your kids. And it goes all the way to the end. Same link. And this one starts at 3:38. I wrote down the times. Yeah. So you.
When you were typing, I was like, my phone was using my work, I didn't know like the boxes.
Oh, yeah. And so this is saved. I'm going to click apply changes.
Can you move it down so we can see what's on the bottom?
Oh, yeah. Just.
So what is it? That's how many seconds that is along the bottom?
Yes. So my total video is 27 seconds. And my proton thought bubble shows up just before 10 and goes all the way to the end. My neutron starts at 15 all the way to the end. And then my electron is at the end.
That what line? Does that need to move or no? The line that goes up and down right there on the little red thing?
This one?
Yeah.
That's just
And click right
how
here.
far along it's.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, so the changes have been applied. You now have access to the cards. Okay, well, I don't want to try that out yet. We'll do that later. And now, once again, I'm just going to double check to make sure. Go back to my.
So you saved the changes, right?
Yeah, I clicked save changes. Let's see.
There you go.
It might
All right,
still
class, we
be-
learned about the atom today. If you would like to know more about the protons, click here. If you'd like to know a little bit more about the neutrons, click here. And if you want to know a little bit more about the electrons, go ahead and click right here. All right, thank you.
Hey guys, in direct contrast to electron, the electron is going to have so many more zeros. It's going to have 4 more zeros on it, meaning it's.
So for our lesson, do you want us? I know that's the block, but do you want the original, the 3 different lessons to be from us?
It doesn't have to be. No, it could be other videos. If you do other videos, I would like it if you find the part of the video that you want them to talk about, so you know the exact time to start it and end it. But you can kind of see the power of this, so that the kids choose what they need to know more about. I already know about protons. I'm still a little bit worried about electrons. Let me choose to listen to that part first. So you're kind of allowing the kids to kind of go at their own pace and in their own direction. Mm-hmm. So, and as you can tell, I mean, it does take a little bit of know-how, but that's why we do this class, so that I can show you and we have time to work on it. And so I want you guys to go ahead and try to work on this. Just do a quick one, just with you saying click here, click there, and to see if you know how to actually do all that before you actually start working on your actual project. So don't think, what am I going to do? Just go, I want to just play around. I'm going to do a quick figure out where to point, and just so you can do that. Yeah, so that's what I want you to do for the next 15 minutes. Sounds about a good amount of time. And if you need more, we'll go ahead and do more.